Hi, my name is Kim Adams. I am the coordinator of Youth and Young Adult Ministries for the Eastern North Dakota Synod. It's my delight to organize these upcoming youth retreats for our Synod. For the last 15 or 16 years, our Synod has contracted to use Young Life's Castaway Club on Pelican Lake. And so it is a delight to be back there at such a beautiful setting, and they let us do what we want with the program and the place, and they've been good partners with us in this ministry. Whether you are bringing a group for your very first time or your 15th time or 33rd time, we are so glad and eager to welcome you to this ministry of our Synod. Thank you for the ways that you care for this precious population of our church. I'm going to use these next few minutes to just give you some basic ideas, overviews, bits of information, a little orientation, if you will, for what to expect for these next 2 weekends at Castaway Club. Some of you are coming just for our Synod's middle school retreat. Some of you are coming just for our senior high retreat. Some of you get to do back-to-back weekends with me. And so just stay tuned for all the information. Pick and choose what you find most helpful for you as you relate it to your context. So a couple things. We still have some empty spaces for our retreat. So if you have many middle schoolers that want to come on last minute tonight or tomorrow and want to get on the bus or in the vans with your group on Friday, we welcome that. If you can say yes, we will happily say yes. Just let us know and we'll make appropriate accommodations. The same is true for senior high. A lot of y'all don't even think about registering your groups truly until after we get past middle school. And listen, I hear you. We have plenty of room for senior high students for this really unplugged retreat. So think of ways that you can invite your senior high students to join us as well. Thank you. Thank you for being flexible and maybe letting some last minute additions join us. When you get ready to come to camp, we will be ready to greet you at 7 p.m. So if you find yourself in the area a little bit before that, if you would be so kind to us as to make a quick trip around the lake or stop for a slice of pizza at Zorba's or an appetizer or a trip into Detroit Lakes, something like that, that would be really helpful. We'll have a team of folks ready to say hello and welcome and point you into the right directions, but not until 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, here's your option, or just a few minutes prior. You'll come into the main gate if that's your preference. If perhaps you have buses dropping you off, that works really well. Or parents dropping you off, you can pull right into that first main gate, big Castaway Club written over the top, and pull up right into the circle and simply quickly unload and then have those vehicles depart. If you are staying and you want to park your vehicles and unload from there, that is totally fine. You'll pass right by that first gate and enter the second gate to Castaway Club. It's a back gate. Then you'll drive up the driveway a little bit. You'll see a couple different parking lots on your right. I invite you to park as carefully and closely as possible to the vehicles near you, especially for our middle school weekend. Those parking lots seem to fill up pretty quickly. So be mindful of that. You can unload wherever you want. We do ask that buses don't come into the back gate. So if you're a congregation that's bringing a bus, the front gate is for you to use especially. Let's go through the layout of camp a little bit. The names of the buildings are all nautical themed, so stay with me if you can. At the top of the hill is called the Windjammer. It's a big, white, beautiful building. We eat our meals in one half of it, and then there's a coffee shop in the second half on the main floor. There's housing at the top and the upper level for our ladies, some of our lady campers, and some of our work crew campers stay up there. And then the lower level is a game room and some other extra meeting space. Just near the Windjammer is 2 other female dorms, the Sloop and the Schooner. And then down the hill closer to the drop-off circle is a building called the Cutter. That's where we have some of our male campers staying, as well as male campers are being housed in the Carrick and a few as well in the Galleon. So as you keep in mind where you'll unload your folks, that geographical location might be helpful. The other thing, as we're saying, terms of buildings and things like that, the space where we hold our main sessions is called the Anchor, also pretty adjacent to that first drop-off circle. And so we will be in there, well, actually most of the time, right? When the horn sounds, we'll either end up in the Anchor or the Windjammer. So let's go through some boundaries of camp. So the lake, of course, is one. We don't use the lake this time of year. The Windjammer is the stopping point on one side, the trees, the dorms, all the way down to the front gate, and then to the back soccer field. So basically, right, we have a highway on one side, we have the lake on the other, the building, the Windjammer on one end, and then the soccer field and trees at the other. You remind your campers to stay in those safe spaces. That will be best for us and them. Another thing to be mindful of for your young people and adults is to be mindful that the only sleeping spaces to enter is the one that they use. So if they want to go visit a friend who's in maybe a room or two down from theirs or on the lower level or in a different building, we invite them to visit those people, but we ask that that not happen in people's sleeping spaces, that those meetings and gatherings happen only in public places. So there are lounges in each dorm, cabin, if you will, and then there, of course, are plenty of other common spaces, the coffee shop, the game room downstairs, the lawn, that sort of thing. So thank you for the ways that you help that. That helps us be mindful of personal space and property, and frankly has helped keep people mindful of taking care of their own things a little bit better. Attached in this email, you'll find a schedule for the weekend. And one thing to keep in mind is I won't be bringing paper copies this year. So we are making the plunge to not have paper copies available, but you can for sure print it off. You can save a copy onto your phone, however you would like to do it. And we are inviting you to share that schedule as you need with your young people. For years, we've said to not share the schedule because some elements in the schedule change. But we also know that some people are wired in a way that it just makes sense. It just makes sense to share what is helpful to them. So like if you have someone who worries or is anxious or is homesick, the best thing you can do to make them feel comforted is to give them a sense of security. And sometimes simply having one's schedule is all that someone needs. So by all means, just let them in on what's happening. I wouldn't print copies and pass them out because, like I said, we change things based on the weather and availability of program staff and that sort of thing. But let us not let this be a thing that adds to homesickness and things like that. Also attached to this email is a Faith 5 exercise. So during your cabin time, you are invited to work your way through the whole Faith 5 or part of the Faith 5, or let that be the direction you take. It's also really good practice for you all to encourage your young people to use at home. Of course, some of you are using this like crazy in your own congregations, which is why we have chosen to support you in that as well. On the registration email was the link for the medical and covenant forms. If you misplaced that, we've also added that to this email, so you are welcome to download it from there and print off copies. Each young person and each adult leader needs to have a copy of both completed. So thank you for the ways that you'll help make that happen. You will keep your lead adult leader will keep their cabins or your congregation's adult forms, however you choose to do it. You won't pass those in. We expect that you have those. The other thing, if you have a young person or an adult with special needs and you let us know, we would sure love to have that information just so we can accompany you and you all better. We know that people come to us with a variety of needs, and so we can only do better if we know better. So thank you for including us as you see fit. The medic will be there to help disperse medications. So what we would ask you to do, if you have a young person with medications, that you would collect them, and then you decide with the parent if you want the medic to disperse them or if you as the adult leader want to hold those and disperse them. For me, especially when I had people with a little bit more complex needs, I often had the medic do that. Of course, that was also before the days of cell phones and alarms and things like that, reminders. So we trust you, but we ask that you be ever mindful to the medical needs of your young people as well. Also, we will have with us this year earplugs for people in the anchor who have some sensory needs. So if that is helpful to your people, they'll just be in a basket at the sound booth in the anchor. So they can keep a pair with them if they lose them, whatever. Also, if you have a young person who has sensory needs or any other needs in that respect, and you have some tricks already in your toolbox that you could bring along, that's great. We welcome you to make this weekend as comfortable as possible for each participant. That matters a lot to us. Your role as an adult leader is to be an accompanier and a participant. We invite you to bring your joyful and caring self to be present with our young people. Your time matters. Your welcome matters. Your listening ear matters. Your accompaniment in their life matters, in their faith development, and in their maturity as a young person in general. So thank you for what you said no to so that you could say yes to this weekend. One of the other things we'll ask of you from as adult leaders is to help with some volunteer opportunities. So many hands make light work. One of the ways that we try to keep our costs down at our Synod retreats is by asking for you as adult leaders to do some volunteer work. So attached into this in this message is also a sign up genius for you to sign up to do hot tub, to help with cleaning up the dining room after meals, to help with some free time activities. Nothing major. There's enough of us that really, if a few of us, if we each volunteer a time or two, it should be taken care of, no problem. So thanks for signing up for that in advance. Then it helps you plan ahead for how you'll navigate your young people. The other thing is, as an adult leader, we ask that you are mindful of where your young people are during their free time. So we'll have some chunks of free time where they'll retreat or they can do activities, play games. There will be a craft, some sort of an art project probably. And depending on the weather, right, inside or outside, always matters at Castaway. But we ask that you have a game plan, that you check in with your young people, and by all means, please, please, please make sure that there isn't anyone just left alone. So that might mean you become a partner in fun and camp activities for the afternoon, just so we protect that young person from being all alone. If you've been to Castaway before, this might be a little bit of a change for you. We've decided to modify some of our meals a little bit based on your really helpful feedback. So on Friday night and Saturday night at our snack time, which is right after the main session generally, it's going to be real light and basic. So think granola bars or popcorn, just real kind of nothing light snacks. We are changing the menu for Saturday and Sunday morning breakfasts. We'll have a hot option. We, for a couple years, tried a continental breakfast for Saturday morning, and thanks to your feedback, we've just decided to switch things up again and see if this works better for us as a group. Everything that you as an adult or you as a young person need for the weekend is provided for you. You don't need to bring extra money for anything per se. However, there will be some additional items that young people or you as the leader may want to purchase. So the camp store will be open, and they just have a bunch of Castaway merchandise, which is kind of a fun keepsake. Every participant, though, gets a free retreat t-shirt, so just know that. There is a coffee shop at camp, and I can't remember. I think drinks are like $3.50 to $4 a piece. They're pretty reasonably priced the last time we were there, I think. So lots of smoothies, lattes, that kind of drink thing. All over kind of price points. There's a couple vending machines as well, if that is helpful for kiddos who maybe need some more snacks, or you are welcome to bring some extra snacks on your own for your young people. Just so you as an adult leader have this heads up as you see the coffee shop, there is always brewed coffee, regular or decaf. It's on 24 hours a day, and there's hot water. Usually they have some tea packets. Sometimes the assortment isn't maybe your favorite, but that's available for you as an adult leader all day, every day. Some of us have found it helpful to bring just a travel mug to fill up, and then we can keep our coffee with us all day long. That's a little tip. Also, water bottles are really helpful. So for you and your young people, so that they can have water with them during the days. The weather right now looks to be just a typical fall day. So I encourage your groups to pack accordingly. Remember, bedding, linens, all that stuff is provided in the cabins. So unless you or your young person has a particular need, that's all taken care of. Of course, a reminder to bring swimming attire for your youth or you if you want to get in the hot tub, and a beach towel is helpful, as well as a pair of sandals or flip-flops to wear from one's cabin to the hot tub. Tennis shoes sometimes get misplaced because people don't want to put them back on their feet after they've been in the water. So just a word to the wise. I think that might be it. I want you to prepare to have a good weekend. Your excitement is contagious for these young people. So thank you for the ways that you're going to be excited to try new things and different things, and be present. I think that sort of wraps things up for what I think is helpful before you get there. So let's talk about what's in this email again, because I rambled through a lot of things. So in this email, you'll find details of your housing, so where your group is staying. Please do your best to honor the number of mattresses I say that's in those rooms, but if you need to make a change, no worry, just send me an email right back or shoot me a text message and we'll get it figured out. If you could do that for me before Friday at 3 p.m., that'd be really awesome. And if we have to change on site, we can. Also in this document is the link for the medical form and covenant form. Print those out. Make sure you have a copy of that for everyone. You'll have a copy of Faith 5 in this email, as well as a copy of the schedule in this email. Remember that gates open for you all to be welcomed into camp at 7 o'clock. We plan to have a leader check-in, which is simply a hello and here we go for the weekend. Let's pray and bless these young people and this weekend together, and invite the Holy Spirit to do the amazing work that the Holy Spirit does. Also, you are welcome, and you can pick up your t-shirts at that time. If you happen to want to reply to the email via text or email with the name of your housing assignment, right, and your shirt sizes, we would put shirts right into your into the cabins for you, so you don't even have to deal with that. So that's an optional thing. We've not done that before, but you are welcome to reply via email or text for shirts, okay? And then the last thing would just be that there's also the link to the Sign Up Genius for how you can help for the weekend. If you need anything from me over the next couple days, shooting me a text is going to be the fastest way that we can communicate. So 218-779-5106 is my cell phone number. And you're welcome to email me as well. kim@lcmndsu.org is my email. I look forward to welcoming you all, seeing you all in person, and would you please take care to make sure that all your adult leaders spend just these 10 minutes, if that's how long this ends up being, probably 10 minutes to watch this. The more people that are in on the information, the better it is. There's There are no secrets at all. It's best if we just get everybody as informed and equipped as possible. So thank you for passing this on and taking the time to read the emails and to listen to this really long orientation. I'll look forward to seeing you at Castaway on Friday at 7 o'clock. Dress warm and in multiple layers. Be well. See you soon.